there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Word to your mother.
Two Cool Moms activate. Hey, everybody.
Hey. How are you?
Mommy's on time. Mommy's on time.
Mom time.
You're way taller than me right now. You need to bring your chair down. You're on a different level than me. There it is. There you go. Yeah. How was your travel? How was your travels today? That good, huh?
I really bottomed it out on that one. I'll bring it up a little bit more. I always remember that. Did you ever see when Andy Kaufman had a talk show and he made a joke about how Johnny Carson would always be higher than his guests or Letterman? Okay. So the guest was down here and literally 30 feet above them. He was way up top, like asking the questions and talking them down there. And it's like, why are you doing it? It was just one of those surreal things. I guess you could have done it in just like a minute joke,
right?
But he had a whole show
committed
where
to
he
it.
Was like a talk show host and he was way up top.
Really?
It's crazy, yeah. How was Alaska? I have to ask you, because that's the one state I want to go to. I've never been, and you did it, and I saw a picture you sent me of you at a glacier.
Yeah, I flew at a glacier. Yeah,
and the water looks bluer than anything you'd see in the Aruba.
Yeah, I drank. I drank glacier water. It's not big
Are you
deal.
serious?
NBD.
Wait, can you drink that?
You're allowed to. Yeah, they sell you the cup at the place.
They sell you the cup.
They do. $5 for a plate. Here's the best part. Here's the best part of the story, right? So here I go. I fly to the glacier. It's a bucket list thing. I've never been in a helicopter. And I wanted to go to all 50 states. So I have 4 left, 3 now. The other ones are North Dakota, Montana, and Wyoming. Never been to.
Oh, dude.
So I'm going to go to them.
Gorgeous.
So I'm in Alaska.
Yeah.
And the club has a guy who's like, hey, we have a friend of ours has a helicopter. He takes people on glacier tours. You want to go? I was like, sure, I'll dip into a glacier.
Should we mention the glacier tour, Joe? What was it called?
I don't know the name of it.
Let's think.
I don't know the name
Joseph.
of the glacier tour. I'll put a graphic.
All right, there we go. Yeah. Well, thank you, too.
I'm giving myself more work for the editing. I already got to cut out the beginning.
I'm so sorry.
All right. So,
Joe, I'm going back up top now. My apologies. What were you saying?
Kaufman, could you bring it down?
There we go.
So I go to the place and they have, before you take off, they have like the souvenir shop and they said, oh, if you want to drink glacier water, you can fill up one of these water bottles and it's $5.
But it's just a water bottle.
It's just basically a water bottle. I was like, all right, I buy it. So I go. And you go on the glacier, and they give you these things called clamp-ons, which basically just turn any boots into like ice hiking things, and they're unbelievable.
Are those like the ninja claws you used to use?
Exactly
as
right.
Kids
For my feet.
You would order that. Oh, that's
So I finally got to use them.
Do they work?
It worked.
It does.
Full blown work.
What did you say?
It
works.
Worked.
Did it sound like he said he works?
It worked.
There was a weird S in there.
Yeah,
it worked. Okay, so it worked.
You didn't say.
I'm excited to tell you about it. I'm excited to tell you about it. So there I am. I'm worsting it out in Alaska. But I felt like so invigorated. Like I walked up a glacier. I felt like Spider-Man. Like that was how good they were.
You really have to
complete. Yeah.
This isn't like you're just landing and you got to climb the thing.
Yeah.
Too.
When he lands, he goes, "I got to find a place to land." I said, "How?" He goes, "Well, we land and we just put it down gently, and we don't stop the helicopter because if it starts falling apart, you have to take off again."
Oh shit!
So it was like really weird. But so we get in there. I get down. I get some glacier water. I take a sip. I feel invincible.
Wait. So tell me about that. So you dip it in.
You dip it in,
and it's just you don't have to heat it. Nothing.
It's
really
just like that.
Really,
it basically tastes like Dasani. But no,
I know what. By the way, I know what water looks like. Thank you for show and tell.
I don't know if you need visual aids. This is what I drank. So I take a sip, right? All right, so I take a sip.
Yeah.
But I'm all touristed out. I got my camera backpack. I got a puffy jacket on. I'm all.
Yeah.
So I put my water bottle in the pocket of my puffy jack.
Yeah.
And the problem is I start clamping on up. I go uphill. It falls out of my pocket and ding, 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 falls into the glacier water.
Oh shit!
And the guy freaks out. The helicopter guy's like, oh! He's like, we can't. And he goes to get it. But the glacier, the water is like, 80 feet deep.
Of course, yeah.
And freezing, so he can't jump in. So he's doing a lean. The other guy grabs his backpack. He leans. He takes his hat off, and he scoops it out with his hat and just makes it. I was like, oh, thanks so much for doing that. I'm so sorry. He's like, yeah. He's like, we can't litter our names on the bottle. So it gets brought back to them, and they get in trouble. I thought it was because he was being like eco-friendly. He was like, "No, man, we can't get pinched with this fine."
That's so funny.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, so they get like a $1,500 fine or something for littering.
Littering, yeah.
Oh my god, that's
but
crazy.
it was really, really cool.
Yeah,
lots of bald eagles.
Really,
that's the pigeon of Alaska. The bald eagles.
Seriously, were they just everywhere?
So many bald eagles, just everywhere you looked.
What? Was it that cold?
No,
it wasn't.
No, but it stays. It was well lit. It didn't get dark until like 10:45 at night.
Really?
Yeah, the summer is crazy because it's only like 2 hours.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
And then the winter's flipped is like.
Do the hotels do something different with like blackout shades or something?
I didn't ask the interior design of the place I was staying at.
Joe, real quick, just to show you. Curtains.
Oh, that's a curtain?
This is what
Gotcha.
a curtain
Don't
is.
pull that. You remember what happened? You remember what happened last time?
I remember, yeah.
They had to lift the sign away from us.
I love our sad plant holding it up. It's like,
You got this. Come on, guys. You got 40 more minutes. Yeah, so it was like crazy that the light was. There was a lot of homeless people. The city of Anchorage itself,
in Alaska.
Yeah, in Anchorage itself. If the city felt very much like a Seattle or a.
But hold on, if you're homeless in Alaska, that's got to be absolutely brutal.
You can't get out of there.
But like LA, it's like okay, there's worse places to be, but
Yeah, but you're not on vacation.
you're on the complete.
You're
Yeah, I
gonna
know.
sound like they're like, yeah, hey,
They're not rollerblading
what's up,
down
dude?
Venice.
Hang loose, bro. We're just
What are
homeless.
they doing in Alaska then? There's got to be shelters, or they're like
Well, there was a
hit
lot.
stations where they stay warm. Or
But I saw
something,
two guys getting in a fight with each other, and one guy was yelling at a third guy who wasn't there. He was like, "I'll take both of you on," and I was like, "Dude, there's only one guy there." I was like, "Who are you used to? You're not gonna lose this fight, sir." But yeah, there's like some homeless people. But the city itself reminded me very much like a Seattle. It was nice. There was the food was unbelievable.
And is it true that it's like 5 guys to every 1 woman?
It's a lot of fishermen and whatnot. Yeah,
That's what I heard.
There's
Okay.
a lot of male,
you're in
male
heaven.
dominated. Yeah, I mean, I love so many guys to hang out with.
Your
I play
hotmail's
poker.
at dudesoup at hotmail.com, right?
It's at worst dude. Yeah, but it was.
There's so many dudes there. The homeless envision more dudes.
But I like. That's right. They brought more guys to fight. Well, he wasn't wrong. There's probably another guy around the corner. But I liked talking to people for sure. Like I went by myself, right? So I was like getting into it, mixing it up, and just like talking to people about Alaska because you ask all the same questions. Like you're there, and I kept just driving down the pike, and I would just park my car, get off, and just like walk around. And there was a sign that said, "The bear's close." Like that's what it said. The bear was within 2 miles. The bear is within 2 miles, and I was like, I got to be careful. I don't want to get eaten by this bear.
Right.
So I started walking up the trail, and then I quickly realized I'm not a hiker. Like I'm not like just because you're in Alaska doesn't mean you could do the Alaskan things. So I go up, and all of a sudden there's this huge trail. I'm like, it made me wish.
Are you by yourself?
I'm by myself.
Okay.
It made me wish that I could do this, and I was like, I wish I was a hiker. But I'm not.
But you know what hiking is?
Just walking in the
It's
woods.
just walking. Right?
Yeah, but it's true. Hiking is walking.
It's just walk. You can walk.
It's true.
You can walk anywhere you want, Joe.
But it's like uphill and there's dirt and there's a bear. That's not happening in the city.
No. But there's I think there's more danger in the city, in New York City, than.
But there's no signs telling you where the bears are in New York City. There's no signs.
That's right. There's no signs telling you. Like they should tell you on a subway platform step back all those things that could happen on a daily basis. But I would feel safer in Alaska. Wouldn't you? Than
I had a scare.
How? What? A bear?
No, I fell.
Excuse me.
Hurt my finger.
You fell?
I fell.
Wait, did you trip?
I bit it. I bit
tripped?
it. No, I didn't
Wait,
have
you
to,
fell?
I fell and almost went off.
Off a cliff?
Yeah,
Get the
like, I
fuck
swear
out
to
of-
God.
Are you kidding me?
So there's this thing called Virgin Falls where they said you got to go check out Virgin Falls. Everybody's talking about it. I'm like, okay, great. So I take the drive and I'm on the GPS and it's basically at a dead end street, like through a neighborhood. And then there's a little path with steps that says, Virgin Falls this way. So I'm going up. And then as I get halfway there, I go around. It's like a circle, right? So you go around the Virgin Falls. And as I'm coming back, there's snow and ice and it's downhill.
Oh, shit.
So I'm like, oh, shit, I can't.
Yeah.
What am I going to do here? And I have rope. So I grabbed the rope.
No, they had rope.
They
there
have
for
just
you.
okay. I don't know if it's for me. There's a rope there. So I'm like, I'm going to use this rope. So I grabbed the rope, right? So I start going. I don't have
The bear holding the rope.
the bear's like, come on,
Dumb
sucker.
fuck, you
Come
fell
on,
for
we
it.
got him. And that third homeless guy. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, here we go. So I start going down slow.
Yeah.
And then I start speeding up because I don't have the clamp-ons. They were just for rented when I took the glacier ride. These are not my clamp-ons. I don't own them.
What shoes are you wearing? Are you
I'm wearing boots. I got
Skechers?
boots. No,
Oh, okay.
I got like a boot, but
You really do. Okay.
they're not made for sliding. They're made for walking. Okay? So I hit the ice at a bad angle, and I start going. And I'm like, oh, shit. And
You fell down the thing?
and I'm sliding down the thing, but standing. So now I'm doing like a half Ninja Turtle surf.
Cowabunga, baby.
Cowabunga, baby.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hold on for dear life, but I'm going towards the edge of a cliff.
No.
Swear to God.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I'm going toward the edge of a cliff. I'm like, all right, so I have to fall. I said, because if I'm not going to, I'm going to make it to the, like I'm picking up speed. So like, all right, I'll fall. So I fall.
Now you slide?
And now I slide, but now I'm still sliding. And I'm doing a full-blown trying to grab on the branches.
But there's nothing to grab.
I mean,
Are you scared?
I'm by myself. I was a little afraid. A little afraid.
Yeah.
So I literally I just grabbed like there was some roots of like some weeds, and I just grabbed them and they stopped me. And I'm like, oh, thank God. And that was almost the end of Joe Gatto. Nobody knew where I was.
This is why Joe doesn't walk.
No
more walking. This is exactly why I don't walk.
I am not a hiker.
Not even hike.
I'm not a hike.
I don't walk.
I'm not a slider.
This is why you don't walk. Oh my God.
Yeah.
How if you fell?
Done.
For real.
Dead ski, swear. It was at the top of the falls.
Dude,
but here's the other thing.
How awful would it be if you killed yourself on Virgin Falls? Like not even close to Black Diamond. Like there's 6-year-olds taking field trips, I'm sure, to Virgin Falls, and you're the one that you popped your cherry. You died.
He's done.
Yeah.
He's buried at the bottom of the falls. Which falls? Would they rename it? They would rename it.
Gatto Falls.
Gatto Fells.
Gatto Fells. Gatto Gons. So wait, how far? Like how?
Yeah.
It's
hundreds of feet.
Oh shit! Really?
Hundreds of feet. Yeah. So the falls were frozen over, so you couldn't even see them. You could only hear them. So it's basically like, I should have just stayed in my hotel room and turned on the shower. It would have been the same experience and much less risky. Okay. I didn't see shit. I fell. I hurt my finger. I slid. I almost died.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're not dead.
Okay.
And I'm glad you're here.
And here's the kicker.
Yes.
I'm on my way out of the Virgin Falls.
Yeah.
I finally make it down the path, and here come 3 women. They're walking in. They got like stiletto boots on, whatever.
No.
I'm covered in mud. I look like a maniac. I got a snow cap on. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I got a fluorescent jacket on.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a fluorescent feedlot jacket. It's green and yellow. I look like a maniac.
Yeah.
I come out of the woods and I'm like panting. My heart's beating and I'm sweating. And I go, you don't want to go in there. I look at the girl's shoes. I go, especially with those boots.
Yeah.
That's what I said to the woman. And I walked by her.
And they went.
Yeah. They're probably dead.
No, I'm sure that they're experienced.
I'm sure they took nice pictures. If you go to their Instagram, there's probably all nice pictures.
Yeah.
There's probably also another way to go that I wasn't aware of because I'm not an outdoorsman.
Does this thwart you from experiencing the wild in the future?
No, I mean, because my states left, I have to go into the wild. They're Montana, Wyoming, and North Dakota. Those are the wilds. There's like national parks and whatnot. That's why I'd be going.
That's freaking scary though. That you almost. I mean, you literally could have died though.
Yeah, and there would have been nothing. Nobody would have known where I was. That's it. Where'd Joe Gatto go? Gone forever. He was in Alaska. That's all people knew.
You rented a car there or something, right?
Yeah,
they would have tracked you down.
Yeah, but the call was.
But they go, oh,
that's good.
This dumb pussy couldn't even make it down Virgin
He
Falls.
fell in, and it's in somebody's backyard. Basically, I saw somebody's back porch from where I was, so I could have screamed for help.
They had to have seen some crazy stuff.
Oh my God, yeah. I feel like during the summer too, it's like where those people would go and jump into like cliff dive and stuff.
Sure.
If you go down more, but there's no way to get down anywhere unless you fell, like I almost did. But yeah, that was
that is freaky to have like. Do you consider that a near-death experience, or do you just think, I tripped, I fell, I almost died, I'm okay?
I've had a couple. That's one of them for sure. I would say I would say that was almost dead, not near death. I would say almost. Something bad could happen, really bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost died on another cliff. I was horseback riding.
Joe, I'd like to make a suggestion from now on. Yeah. So what happened on this thing?
Did you almost ever die?
I don't know. I mean, I guess. Like, but I want to hear about the horseback thing.
Well, I went. Your turn. I want to see. Do you have one or no? All right, I'll think about it.
I had an incident where I was like, oh, that could have been way worse, and it was only in the aftermath of it happening where I was like, that's what death would be like.
Got it.
That I would have. If I would have died, I never would. Like, I didn't know it was happening.
Gotcha.
Right? Because I was.
Well, that's what death really is like for a lot of people. Like an accidental death. Like you don't know it's happening.
You have no.
For the most part, yeah.
I was in New Orleans. I was in the French Quarter, and I just got this new camera that Papio had suggested I get. So I wanted to learn about it. So I'm in New Orleans. I'm thinking I might as well take some pictures.
You went up to Slutty Falls. It's the opposite.
Yes. And I'm like, oh my God, this building is gorgeous. And I take a step off into the sidewalk, and I got drilled by a car. I got hit by a car, and everything goes black. And 2 seconds later, I'm on the ground. I just get up. I'm like, oh, I'm okay. And my camera was okay because it was in the bag. I was going to pull it out, but it was in the bag, and nobody asked if I was okay. Nobody helped. Nobody did anything. So I get up and I look over at the driver, and the driver is a city worker, and he looks at me like this, and I was like, "Oh, I'm okay," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm okay."
You walked it off.
I walked it off, and then he was like still wide-eyed and went away. And about 20 minutes later, I had the most ringing headache, and of course, you're not supposed to lie down and take a nap. And what do you think dipshit does?
Did you?
I took a nap. I took a nap. I laid down and took a nap, and then I woke up like a few hours later, and I was like, I'm okay. My head was still ringing a bit, but then from there on out, I was just processing like it all.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, what if it was the French Quarter, so people are going 15, 20 miles per hour. It wasn't too bad, but boy, if I don't know. It's just I don't know what angle he hit me on. I just know I got hit and I fell down.
Jeez.
That's all I know. But I thought, boy, if that was faster, I maybe I'd be dead. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I was like, that must be what it's like in worse situations, right? Where you have no clue, and then all of a sudden, boom,
Done, yeah.
That's it. It was a little surreal, and then made me definitely appreciate my family a lot more after that. So yeah, sorry, but
No, that's great.
Virgin Falls.
Yeah. I got hit by a cop car when I was 13.
What? By a cop car?
Cop car. I was playing tag in my yard.
Yeah.
On the streets of Shaolin.
Yeah.
And the boys.
Of Shaolin?
Staten Island. So,
Shaolin, like
Shaolin.
China?
Yeah, the Wu-Tang Clan. They
But
call
it was
it
called-
Shaolin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that how that all happened?
From the slums of Shaolin, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh, there you go.
I'm learning. I'm not a big hip-hop fan.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Oasis isn't from there. So,
Sorry, but now it all makes sense. I'm like, oh, okay.
so I'm playing tag with my two friends, Joe Fasano and Jason Joseph. And I was the one white friend in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I'm running around the neighborhood. And
Jason Joseph was not white?
No, Jason Joseph is not white.
He had two white names and he's not even white?
Yeah, he's not.
Okay. It's very
My
perplexing.
oldest friend, best friend from growing up.
Yeah.
I know him since I was 2 and he was 1. He
Right.
moved in, my next door neighbor, right? So we're outside playing manhunt. We're playing manhunt, and I'm running through away from Jason Joseph, from Joe Fasano, and Jason is on base, and I have to cross the street, so I jump through the hedges.
Wasn't Manhunt your favorite bar in Alaska? Sorry. Okay, so you're hiding in the hedges. I got a courtesy laugh.
I'm gonna unplug this. If you keep this up, you can't go any lower. Then come back.
We'll play this game, huh? Want to pop my
You wanna
chest?
go back out? There you go.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry. So you're in the bushes.
So I'm in the bushes.
Yeah.
Okay. I jump through the hedges, and Jason yells "car!" So I look left because I see the headlights of the car.
Right.
And then I just run behind this car, but there was a cop car behind it. I didn't realize it.
Oh shit.
And I stop like a deer in headlights, and I just dive, and it catches my leg, and I helicopter across the street.
So as it's going,
Yep.
it hits your back leg like that,
Yep.
and you
Yeah.
you could have gotten
It was
hit
going like
head on.
It was going like 28 miles an hour on the report. It was going like almost
so
30.
if you didn't dive,
If I didn't dive, it would have caught me right in the stomach. Yeah, I was
Holy
in trouble.
shit, dude.
So that catches me, and then I land, and same like you, I'm like, oh, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And I went to get up, and I couldn't feel my legs, and I couldn't get up, and and I look
fuck.
down, and my legs are like one's behind me, like one's to the side, and I just start dragging myself and freaking the fuck out.
oh,
And I start screaming. I'm like, ah! And my mother came out, and she sat down on the floor and just, put my head on. She's like, "You're okay, don't worry about it." And I was like, "Oh, I can't feel my legs, can't feel my legs." They strapped me to the board to do the whole head thing, but because there was a cop that hit me, the whole street got shut down. Like there was like an ambulance, there was like 2 ambulances, 5 fire trucks.
you
like,
couldn't
all these
feel your
cars.
legs,
Couldn't
and you
feel my
can't
legs.
move them,
Can't
right?
move. So I'm laying there. They strapped me to the whole board. They strapped me with the whole neck.
Is
thing,
your mom
the whole thing? My mom and
freaking
dad
out?
are there. We go into the into the ambulance, and we're going, and like, okay, we have to see the damage. We got to take your pants off, but we have to cut them off you because if there's a bone out, like we can't pull them down.
Yeah.
They got to cut your pants. And I look at the guy and I go, "Dad," and he goes, "What?" I go, "These are my new Bugle Boy jeans. Mom's gonna be so mad." I had one pair. I used to buy like Kmart jeans, right? I had one nice pair of
You had
Bugle Boys,
one
and
good
these are
pair.
the ones. Yeah.
Oh,
So
fuck.
he's like, "That's it," but nothing happened.
Nothing happened. So what? So was it temporary?
Temporary.
And then your
100%. By the
legs
time I got
just.
to the hospital, my legs were fine.
As a parent, can you imagine
goodness.
hearing that?
Oh my goodness!
And like what?
My sisters were at the table with my mom at my house because we were playing in the street by my house, and my sister said my mom stood up when she heard the car, when she heard the boom with the hit.
Yeah.
She said she stood up at the table like instinct, like knew it was her offspring.
Oh my god!
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Dude, I'm glad you can walk.
All right, a lot of it.
And I'm glad this has been a great episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. That is crazy, dude.
Yeah. Well, I guess the lesson is you never know when the candle's going to get blown out, so you might as well dance in the rain. That's what I'm saying, and I'm standing by it.
Why is it a rainstorm? And why would you dance?
Because life sometimes could be a rainstorm, you know?
Life can be a rainstorm. Okay.
Dance in both the sunshine and the rain is what I'm saying, Stephen. Don't let nobody tell you
you're all
can't
weather,
dance.
all season.
I got the
You're ready
jackets
to
and
do
boots
it
for it.
That's right. Just don't go hiking with Joe.
That's the
Jesus
takeaway.
Christ,
That's
dude.
the takeaway, yeah.
All right, well, let's get into this.
Thank you so much to all the fans who've been submitting their queries and conundrums to us. We hope you've been helping.
We're excited. So this one's a bit of a long one, but should we start with the long one?
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
It's already open.
It's from Kimberly. Hey, mommies. This one's a bit of a doozy.
Oh.
I began dating my supervisor almost 2 years ago. We no longer work the same shifts and haven't for almost a year, but he's still considered my supervisor. Because of that, no one at work knows we're together.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
I'm currently looking.
Lovers. That's what we are.
That's a deep pull.
Yep.
I am currently looking for a better job and hope to be gone by the end of the year. He's also 20 years older, which doesn't bother either of us, but I am worried about what my family, especially my parents, will say. My family has always been very judgmental of who I bring home, that I avoid it as long as I can. Our relationship has been good for the most part, except for a few months ago, we started having the same fight about every other month for the last 6 months. Basically, I feel neglected by him and become resentful, and he gets mad at how I'm acting because of it. It takes us a few days to sort through it, but then we're good. We had this same fight about a week ago, and even though we talked it out, things just aren't sitting well with me anymore. I love him and used to be able to see a future with him, but now I'm not so sure. I'm not sure it's a rough patch anymore, and I'm not sure what to do or if I voice my doubts to him. Thoughts here, please, mommies.
First and foremost, I will say that was a great job reading a long email and keeping me engaged.
Oh, thank you.
Well done. I
Cadence and
hope
tone,
I hope I could say the same for our listeners. I hope they're still with us. Number two, I will say this.
Talk to us about Alaska again, Joe.
Let me tell you about this time I almost got shot.
Yeah.
No. So I will say this. I will say the first part of the message, I'm wondering subliminally if it has to do with the second part of the message, because she starts talking about how her family, she's afraid her family won't accept them.
Yeah.
That doesn't even come into play in the second part of it.
Right.
So what is making you think that? Is it making you think that there's no future with this guy because you're afraid now that you're going to have to take the next step with your family?
Right.
Or is it because you're sick of having the same fight? Those are two very different things.
Right.
The first part, F whatever anybody thinks, your happiness is what is in your hands. So you need to do what's right for you. The second part of it, if you feel like you don't see a future with this guy, that needs to be addressed.
Right.
And now let's get to the reason why you don't see a future with this guy. Do you not see a future with this guy because you're afraid that now you have to bring him out to the world? You lose the secret loverness? That's not what we are anymore. We're
Public lovers. Look at us.
That's what we are. Holding hand in hand. Maybe some PDA. Listen, if that's what's scaring you,
right,
there's your answer. This guy is, you're letting other people's perception drive your feelings. That's wrong.
But they're also having the same fight over and over again, which means that they haven't resolved it.
Right.
And I think she knows what her parents are going to say or her family's going to say. And as someone who is not a family member of this individual, I would even suggest to the young lady, Kimberly, the guy's 20 years older than you. It's like, I'm assuming she's probably in her 20s. Yeah. You dated, you had a good time, enjoy it. You don't even work the same shifts or whatever. I would say just cut the cord.
Fold up the table.
Yeah,
the affair's over.
The affair's over.
Yeah.
The September or whatever. What is it? December, May romance?
Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
No, they call when somebody's older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what it's called?
Yeah, sunset, sun. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
May, December, right? May, December.
I thought it was May, December.
Yeah, May, December.
I said December, May, but
May, December.
But I think it's like why. I think at the end of the day, you kind of do want to be within reason of an age gap. But I think like 20 years, that's a big age gap to have.
Well, all these things have been brought to our attention through her, so these are things that are on her mind. So you're not saying anything out of out of place. You know what I mean? We only know this information because she's put it out there. So these are all things that she's thinking.
How do you crack the case like this? Do you have a degree that I don't know about? That is really good.
I've been giving advice to people for 45 years at this point.
That's right. And you got the gift from your mom.
That's right. Thank you, Mom.
God bless you.
Do you know we went to a communion yesterday, and I was in the same room. That's the last time I saw her. She's dead 10 years now. And it was last night. I went to a communion. It was my nieces and nephew's communion.
Really?
10 years later, it's my other nephew's communion in the same hall.
Wow.
We all walk in, and everybody realizes at the same time. Talk about a morose opening. You thought the opening of this episode was rough.
This show is taking a hard left.
Hey, sometimes we talk about it. That's what happens.
Sometimes we talk about it.
Cool moms can talk about anything,
That's right. Warts and all. Are you with us or are you not with us?
Right. You want to be with the old guy or not? I don't know.
I would suggest to the young lady, I would say, it
Seems like there's a lot to say.
There's a lot of blood in the water. It's time to move on. And she sounds like she's got a good head on her shoulder. You'll meet somebody great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, and if it's meant to be, it'll be meant to be. You know what I mean? Maybe the break is what you need to realize this is the one you should be with, or both of you. You know?
Yeah. Take him hiking on Virgin Falls, and if you guys make it through that,
sure,
maybe so. But I think the consensus here is Kimberly. You got to move
it on.
You got to move on.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah. Move it on. Okay, here, let's go to this one. Here we go. Okay, this is from, oh, God. I screen capped it right when somebody was texting me.
Oh, no.
So it's a young lady. Oh, Jennifer. Hey, two moms. My daughter is in 8th grade, and her school is having an 8th grade dance a few days after graduation. She does not want to go. She says all the kids are obnoxious. Should I make her go? I think that once she's there, she might actually enjoy it. I don't want her to miss out. I think this is something every
answers in the last statement there. You don't want her to miss out.
Right.
You're projecting for you. You're putting something that you want, not what she wants.
Right.
My advice is she doesn't go to the dance.
That's your advice?
100%. If she doesn't want to go to the dance, she doesn't want to go to the dance. She's 8th grade. She's got enough wherewithal to make a statement. You're worried about. You literally are saying, I don't want her to miss out.
Right.
She doesn't feel like she's missing out. She doesn't want to go. So the reverse of that is you want to force her to go to do something she doesn't want to do.
See, I hate to break stride here, Mommy. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna hike on my own here now.
Okay, go ahead.
You turn around and I'll meet you in the cul-de-sac maybe tomorrow. I will say I think that the mom is intending to do something most parents would reflexively do, and that is knowing you're probably going to have a good time. And I've had so many instances where my daughter was always more of a kind of a, yeah, I'll try that. Let's go. My son is the opposite. He's like, nope, don't want to do it. Nope, no interest. And then I'm like, we're going, you're doing it. And then within 5 minutes, he's like, I'm so glad we're here. So I think it's one of those things. And I agree with her, but the thing is, 8th grade, that's a really
sensitive time in
age.
Development too, yeah.
And she's saying her daughter thinks that everybody is obnoxious. So she's a bitch. Because
maybe she's the nice one.
Jenny's little angel left a curly one on the soap. Now it's all coming out.
Maybe she's the nice one and everybody else is obnoxious.
I doubt it. They're all obnoxious.
Yeah.
They're all obnoxious.
All teens are obnoxious. Yeah, 8th graders are.
That's a tough age. That's the toughest one, I think.
I do agree with presenting things out of your kid's comfort zone.
Yeah.
So they could go, but this is not something that's out of their comfort zone. Maybe it's just the way that she's saying it. She's like, I don't want her to miss out. Well, what do you want the experience to be? Here's the other thing you could do, and I've seen this with my niece and nephew, who I love very much. One is super outgoing, one is not.
How old are they?
They are 17 now. So I'm talking about when they were.
Okay.
But one was not. My sister used to do this thing, which is like, give it 5 minutes. If you don't want it, I'll come pick you up.
There you go. There's your mea culpa.
That's a good idea.
Right?
I think so.
I think you go, you say, look, go there
for mom,
5.
Give it 15 minutes. If you're hating it, you text me.
I'll be right here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's a smart.
I think that's a good.
That's a good concession.
Between, yeah. You don't feel like
she's going to go in there. She's going to see somebody she knows. She's going to hang out for a second, and who knows? Maybe there's a boy, right? It's the first dance. Maybe there's a boy that comes up and shows a little intrigue, and now she maybe who knows?
Right.
It's like all those like little rom-com teen movies. Maybe all of a sudden she's in love, or
don't say the or. I think it's smart to give it a ticking clock.
You don't want me to
I
say the
don't
or?
want the or, because I'm gonna have to cut it out, and I have enough work on this episode as it is. I know what your or is. It's like or the principal's 20 years older. Maybe they hit it off. Like that's what you're gonna say. Like that's. I don't have time for it.
Okay, I was just gonna say.
Okay, go ahead.
Maybe she wants to talk to her mom about her pronouns. And we've got to be.
Well, you have to do this. We do this.
I won't do it. I won't do it then.
Please.
I won't do it. Okay. I won't do it. To Jennifer, I think you're right. I like Joe's concession. I think that's really smart.
Yeah, make her go for 15. I think
Go for 15.
Yeah.
Do it for her. And here's the thing. Would you reward her for saying, look, do it for 15 minutes at least. And if you go in for 15, if it doesn't work out, let's you and I get an ice cream cone.
right. Let's
You and I will,
reward.
we'll
Right.
go see a movie or something.
Yeah, that's
or,
right. Mom and me, a little mom and me date.
Mom and me date. Yeah.
Yeah,
If it's not a
home run.
a boy and girl date, and then if you want to talk to me about it being a girl and girl, I won't do it. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I won't do it. Okay. Here we go. This is coming to us from Shannon. This is a good one, okay? How do you both stay so svelte and eat right with hectic schedules? First off, I want to start laughing.
I'm sorry. Are you watching a different podcast?
Oh, that makes me
I
laugh.
literally brought a box of pastry
Shannon.
for between the two.
You
Svelte?
flatter me.
Svelte?
Yeah. I have to. This is one of those things too, where we're getting the age where you're starting to see, and now posture is everything, right?
Yeah,
If you don't, then it's like this, and it kind of.
the pop out,
I look like
the turtle.
the seagull that helps out Nemo. I can just put you in my gullet. So I want to lose the 20 pounds I gained after pandemic, and fast food is so much easier after commuting back from the office. I think it's a good one.
Okay, here's the thing.
Everybody put on weight over pandemic.
100%.
Everybody I know has put on.
I'm a cool enough mom to know when I don't know what to say. This is one of those situations. I'm not the guy to talk to about eating healthy.
I am.
So you go. You go here. I will say, when I moved to vegetarian, I made some moves. The big things I always said that made me drop a lot of pounds. I dropped 30 pounds real quick. 10 pounds of it was because I caught a flu. But the other 20 pounds was because portion control was number one.
Yeah.
I ate half the meal. I stopped eating when I was full. Like clean your plate mentality from when you were growing up. Like that really was like stuck with me. So I stopped it, and I stopped eating late. I stopped eating at 7 o'clock. After 7, I stopped eating totally, and only drink water.
That is.
Don't drink calories.
See, you said I don't know what to say, and now you said a lot of things that
Those
I
are
was going to
pretty
say.
good, actually, yeah.
I cut all my sodas out. I
did.
cut my Arnold Palmer's out. Arnold Palmer is always my go-to.
It is.
And if I do have tea, I have unsweetened tea, or I just drink water. You'll lose a ton of sugar there. I don't eat after 8 p.m. And I was always somebody
Which is tough
who would
too in
man.
because we're getting on stage. You know, we're getting on
very
stage
tough.
our last one
because you wanna do, especially after shows, like when we're done doing shows, it's like, you don't just go to bed.
You still
kinda,
up? Yeah.
You're running a little hot, so that's where the whiskey came in, and now I got to stop doing that. But I really do think that you got to make a conscious decision to eat healthier. And as much as it's in my wheelhouse, Shannon, to indulge in carbs. I love a good burger. I love pizza. I love deep dish. I watch commercials. Like I watch Craig Robinson Pizza Hut commercial. I'm like, he's like, nobody beats the Hut. I'm like, damn right. Like I'll talk to the TV. And commercials do inspire me to go literally get in my car and go to Wendy's and try Baconator like that night. I'll do it at 9 o'clock or whatever. But I just stopped and I'm like, you know what? You have your go-tos, right? And if your go-to is a McDonald's or you do Chick-fil-A on Friday after work, you find new go-tos. And you find a great salad at Panera.
Yeah.
You find a great chopped salad at somewhere else. And those have become my substitutes
Yeah,
at
the
home
healthy,
now.
the fast food options, there has been some more, like your option used to be for healthy used to be like the McSalad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there was not
It
really
was just a
anything.
garden salad. It
Exactly
was
right.
just-
And it's not anything there.
Yeah.
There is a lot to do that. I will say too, that everything happens over time. You have to give it 2 weeks. You have to give yourself, you have to make a part, you have to routine it. It's got to become your routine or it's useless.
Yeah.
So within 2 weeks, I think like that's when you really start seeing a difference. I know when I went vegetarian or I started trying to stop eat, like when I was halfway full, it took about 2 weeks for it to take. And then it became the way.
So hold on. You would eat until you're halfway full and then you'd stop?
I would eat half of whatever I ordered. So if I ordered a sandwich, I'd eat half the sandwich.
Wow. How hard is that?
Super hard.
But then you just
You
stay
recalibrated.
disciplined. You said, okay, I'm going to do this.
Yep.
I have to, and that was it.
Yeah. I ate 6 cannolis instead of 12. That's the truth.
That's your downfall, though, right?
Oh my God, sweets. Pastry.
I've
worst.
never,
I literally went for a salad today, and then I got a box of pastry for later, for us to have for the in between to give us that little kick before we got to get through the second episode. That's right.
A little gut punch.
That's it.
Which
Little
we'll get
filler
to.
up.
Yeah.
Little filler up. A little regular unleaded.
Set me off. Give me the good stuff.
I'm giving
Give me
the
with
Power
the
Plus. I'm
91.
giving Premium
Yeah.
Plus over here.
Super unleaded.
Yeah, I got a King Donut.
But you lost a lot of weight over the last.
Oh well, now too.
Say year.
Yeah, because I'm not a stress eater. On the flip, I don't eat much. I don't not eat, but thank God I'm not a stress eater.
Right.
But like when everything's falling apart, I'm like, oh, I got to feed my soul. Like I'm not one of those. I'm just like, So, but the thing is for me is sweets. I love a cup of coffee and treats.
You are now that we're eating on the road together. You love a dessert.
I love it.
Dessert's never been on the docket for me. I never order dessert. And I'm with you. I'm like, maybe I should do this more often.
You should, because that's what, dessert should come first in my opinion.
Damn good. All right. Well, we really did it, huh? We did it.
You go back there. You're already down. Where are you going?
I'm going back up. Going up. Up.
Taking it up. Taking it up top.
Taking it to the streets. Taking it to
It's a very musically themed episode.
This is a great episode. And I'm glad we were able to see the light at the end of the episode, because we really started in a morose place.
Well, it's not over.
It's not over? Oh, we're doing another one? I thought we were wrapping.
No, it's 36 minutes.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I mean, come on back down, buddy. We still got time to be morose.
Here we go.
That's what I love about Two Cool Moms podcast, though. It's a roller coaster ride, right?
I'm on the show. I didn't know where we're going.
See, it's great.
You cracked the whip. You let me know, Stevie. You're not fucking done.
You're not done.
Okay.
You want to be done?
No.
Okay, great. So you're having a good time?
I like being here.
You're a little stressed because it took a little while to get here today with travel, but you're all right. You're here, baby.
Never been easy.
That's here you go.
All right. This is Shireen.
Yes, Shireen.
Shireen?
Yes.
Okay, I hope I got that right. I just want to be respectful. Okay. Happy belated Mother's Day, mommies.
Thank you.
I'm a short, Hispanic, tattooed Marine. Really?
Pleased to meet you.
Shireen, you're painting a picture. And you're working in Browns.
Okay.
Okay. My best friend's fiance is also all of that, but a soldier. We've butted heads several times over the years. My fiance thinks I'm into my... The fiance thinks I'm into my best friend and has on more than one occasion tried to fight me. I've been my friends with the BFF. I've been friends with the BFF for nearly 19 years. Somebody was auto speaking this and didn't type it. How do I keep the peace when it's evident that the fiance and I will never get along? Here's a curveball. We're all female.
Oh. So she thinks she's
This is like To Kill a Mockingbird.
That is. So she who's the Boo Radley? So she thinks she thinks that she is for her best friend. Okay, so I get it now.
Okay.
So there is
a short Hispanic tattooed Marine,
and there's a short
best friend's fiance is the same thing.
But
It's
a soldier.
Her doppelganger is going to marry her best friend.
Well, that's the problem. That's why that's in that best friend's head. That's why that's in the fiance's head. It says they're the same person, except one's a soldier, one's a Marine.
Give us some breadcrumbs.
Oh, my
We'll
goodness.
solve the case.
Okay, so
it's a very subconscious thing on the fiance's end. It's
the fiance is projecting
insecurities
Yes.
because
they're the same person.
they're the same person. But they're not.
They're not.
They're not.
One's a
because
Marine, one's a soldier. Two different types.
But if she was in love with the friend, I'm sure.
So you gotta take your medicine. You gotta take your prostate medicine.
Can you put a pill? I gotta bend over. Sorry, guys.
So, okay. So for me, here's a couple things. Okay, do they have a friend in the Air Force? Because that's that's gonna open up a whole can of worms. They're gonna be in serious trouble when that short tattooed pilot comes flying in, buzzes the tower.
I want you to meet Irene. She's a merchant marine. Oh, no, not again.
No. We just got through it. Yeah, I think you're probably not going to be friends unless everybody addresses the elephant in the room, which is the elephant is it's a short tattooed elephant that's into the armed services.
That's right. Yeah.
I think it's just, there's a projection here by the fiance, which is not your responsibility to solve.
Right.
I will say this. I've been on both sides of this where you've lost people who you thought were your friend because of a significant other, and I've had to lose people because of my significant other.
Sure.
And it happens. It's just it's par for the course.
Joe, are you telling me it's a casualty of war? Thank you. Thank you.
I saluted you.
Stolen valor.
You're not a.
Don't do that.
You're not a samurai.
Don't do that. How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because I've seen you fight.
I don't exhibit my...
Because I've seen you. I've seen you fight. And if you are a samurai, wow. I hope you kept the receipt.
To my master, Steven Seagal, my apologies.
I love it. There's a lot of projection there. That's not your fault.
Yeah.
So it's going to go one way or the other. My guess is that you and the fiance are going to have to, the fiance and the friend are going to have to work it out, and you're going to have to go with that decision. You're either going to be friends with them or not.
Yeah, I agree with you, because what takes precedent here is the relationship. They're getting married, and there are going to be, like you said, I mean, there's going to be friendships that fall by the wayside. It sounds like Shireen is just a decent person trying to be a good friend that's caught up in a situation that she didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. She just happens to look like, and I think if the best friend and Shireen wanted a romance, it probably would have happened because they're best friends, and at some point...
Why didn't Shireen just say that? Why didn't Shireen just bring the friend out to a lunch? I feel like this is a rom-com, isn't it? Like My Best Friend's Wedding, right? Like where it's like, just take the friend out and talk about it, and then they end up falling in love.
Just on a different network.
Right. So I think there's going to be... I think there is going to be a way to just address it. You could take the friend out and be like, look, I don't like her, so what's up?
I agree with you. I think, why not just cut the middleman? Because sometimes the girl that's getting married is caught in the middle of this cat fight, right? And if they're almost coming to blows, it's like, why not have that meal and say, look, let's put this to bed.
Yeah.
You guys are getting married.
I'm excited for you.
I care so much about her.
Right.
That I'm willing to just bite my lip for a lunch and say, look, can we just make peace?
Yeah.
Have a bite. Let's go to Red Lobster. Or
I will say this. I will say this.
Yeah.
I do think that this Shireen is single.
Oh yeah, it seems like it.
So I wonder if when Shireen gets booed up, what's going to happen there? Because then does the fiance lose that worry? Because they're in a relationship now, so now it's not like just a flag flapping in the wind. It's like, okay, it's at half mast now, right. So that's probably part of it.
Yep. There's a bit more to this, but we don't have all the intel.
I will say that you're dead on when you say remove the friend from it, because you're going to lose that either way. Yeah. Like your friend's going to be in a situation where she doesn't want to deal with it. She's like, forget this. And just she's going to take out of her life what she can. She's not going to break up with the fiance.
No.
Yeah. So I would say go for it and see what happens. Please keep us posted. I wonder.
Yeah. Do let us know what happens, because I would be intrigued. And on behalf of both of us, thank you for your service. Truly appreciate it.
Truly appreciate it.
Yeah.
And to the fiance too. So
yeah.
I'm not picking sides. I'm just saying.
I will. I like Shireen. Okay. That's my not fair weather like you.
Okay. Well, you know what? I almost died. So I have a different perspective. I'm trying.
So did Shireen. She fought in the war.
I fought at Virgin Falls. I fought nature. I fought Mother Nature.
You fought nature. Okay. And man is 1-0 against nature, I guess, so far. But okay, here we go. Okay, this is coming to us from Stephanie. Lot of ladies writing us. Hello, Sunday's my last day at work. With the money they will give me, I don't know whether to travel now or save it to live comfortably for a few months or use it to start my own business. What is your suggestion? Well, Stephanie, that is...
The way the world is right now, I think you need to give yourself a cushion.
Yeah, I think
it's kind of irresponsible, or risky is more the word instead of irresponsible. I think risky. It's a little risky to just go travel out and about the world right now, because you don't know when you're going to be able to get another job with the way the market is, or you want to be able to take your time to find a job so you don't fall into something that you have. Take something that you have to.
Yeah. When she says to start my own business, it's like that's a real that's a commitment.
Yeah, that's not a
don't.
Yeah,
yeah. It's like, should I travel or start this business? It's like, no. You're either starting the business or you're finding another job.
Yeah.
Like, you don't just willy nilly that, because the last thing I'd want to see anybody do is invest a bunch of money kind of on a whim or whatever. You got to know exactly what you want.
When you want to start a
passionate.
business, that's where you're
Yes.
starting. You quit your job to start your business, so that is out of the equation for me. You don't start your own business.
I'd say, look, you worked at a job. They're giving you, it seems like, some severance.
Yep.
Go out, take a victory lap.
Yeah.
Go somewhere.
Right. You don't have to go to Alaska, land on a glacier, drink some water, and litter. You don't have to do that. Almost die. You don't got to do that stuff.
Almost get fined.
You know what? Go to Pennsylvania
and see and see the Pussycat Dolls hike that same mountain 5 minutes after you couldn't do it.
They basically filmed a music video on there, and I was like, I'm in the background. They're buck wild on that rope. I'm like holding on to it for dear life. I cut my finger. Okay, so
by the way, yeah, you made it seem like you deserve a Purple Heart. What did you? You have a scratch.
It's actually healed now.
You have a scratch. You got nicked.
I did.
Yeah. But do you come home like,
I was like, do you see this, guys? Do you see this? See what happened? I never actually told anybody that story. You're the only person I told it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, now you told
everybody else was like, how's Alaska? I was like, fine.
Were you embarrassed by the fact that you almost died on a
No, I mean, look at me.
on a bunny slope?
I've been on a even keel of almost dying for about 40 years right now.
That cop story's crazy still, by the way.
Yeah.
To the young lady, I think you should take a victory lap, but then
You're right. Take a mini vacay. Don't blow the bank.
But I
and
agree
then
with
go.
you.
Yeah,
I think you want to have a nice little nest egg. Why not?
Take your time to find something you like.
Buy Disney stock, because it'll come back, because it's so low right now. That's what I think. But
Okay. Well, now we're giving stock options on 2 Cool Moms.
Yeah.
You know, that sounds like such mom advice too. You're like, Disney, that's a blue chip. Everybody loves Disney. That's been around for years. That's not going anywhere.
What kind of Tupperware do you use? Okay, you want to do one more?
Yes.
Yeah, here we go.
Time for one more.
Now that I know that's there. I can't believe I almost stopped this like 2 questions ago.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when
Brandy.
you're having so much fun. It goes so fast.
Oh, Joe.
That's right.
You are the best. Okay, this is coming to us from Brandy.
Brandy.
Hey, 2 co-mamas. Hope you enjoyed Mother's Day. Well, Brandy, right back at you.
Yes.
My question to you is, how do you two deal with family members that don't respect your personal beliefs and choices, or just seem to want to argue all the time? I hate arguing with family, and it seems like some people are never happy no matter what. Thanks. Love the podcast. Thank you, Brandy. It's very nice of you.
The problem with Brandy here is, she's got a specific set of beliefs that she's trying to put on her family, and they don't agree with her.
Right.
So she's upset.
I'd like to know what the beliefs are.
Yeah. Are we talking religion? Or are we talking politics?
I assume, well, look, I don't think she's any different than a lot of other families, because
100%.
The last election, I've heard this from multiple friends, and I'm sure you have
People
too.
stop talking to people, yeah.
There was somebody that told me, one of my dad's friends told me that there was a bar they used to go to, and as soon as you walked in, the first thing it said on a plaque was, "We don't discuss politics or religion in this bar." And I think that was kind of like the mindset of an older generation, right? Like those things are deeply personal.
Mm-hmm.
Like knowing how much money you make, that's personal.
Yeah, right.
And I think with social media, that has been breached, and now it's all out there. And I think people feel more emboldened and empowered to share their beliefs now more than ever, because I think things seemed heightened because of this shit, right? But I don't think it's as any worse as when men would literally duel against each other over disbeliefs or opinions, and not just in the Wild West, but when the country was being founded right here in New York, they would have duels. So
they smack each other in the face with a glove, and that meant business. Like, you want some, bitch? I'll see you out back at the graveyard.
And and afterwards they would say, "And good day to you, sir."
Yeah.
There was still some formality to it. So I don't think things are worse. I do think that that's a commitment. Again, another commitment. It's like, do you want to commit to that, and understand that when you do, there are ramifications that come along with this.
Yeah. Well, the problem is it's family, right? So they're around. They're going to be there. You're going to be with them at things. Like, there's no escaping them. Like, you could change a friend group, or you could see people a little less. But if it's family, it's tough. I mean, people get divided by the hot button topics.
Yeah.
And you have to try to go through it. But you have to remember 2 things. One, you're not going to agree with everybody, which is fine. And you can't waste your time trying to get people to believe what you believe to a certain extent, especially at the expense of a relationship that's important, right?
Yeah, and 2, you can always find another family.
100%.
Always.
100%. They're out there.
It's the easiest thing to do.
They're out there.
Yeah.
You just walk
Just
around.
go online. It's
Go online.
the easiest.
Yeah, seriously. There's mommies near you everywhere.
Mommy's near you. That should be our app that we create.
Mommy's near you.
Yeah.
You need a hug? Come hang out. Mommy's near you.
And what was number 2, though?
Need to warm you up. And I would say the second thing is that you have to remember that you have to be the big enough person to just be like, I don't want to talk about this. Right? You don't have to talk about it.
That's right.
You don't have to. Look, we don't agree. That's it. Fine. Right?
That not indulging could be your superpower. And with great power comes great responsibility. I really do think it's the hardest thing in the world right now to bite.
You battle with that, I think.
Every now and then, yeah.
I
pick and choose, but it's just like it's like, especially on social media as a comedian, and you've known me long enough, that I don't have a deep emotional connection with politics. I'm a comic first, so if there's a joke there, I'm saying the joke if it's good for Democrats or if it's good for whatever pendulum swing. It's just like, oh, this could be a funny joke. I'll just put it out there, and with that comes flack. But I think now I'm starting to garner notice that it's just like I just shit on everybody, on both sides, and nobody more than me. So I'm always the worst part of the joke. But unless you're in the front row when I do crowd work.
I'd say yourself show up, buddy. You did great. I would say do your best to address it and be like, look, okay, we don't agree. That's fine.
Yeah, family's supposed to love you unconditionally, and so at the end of the day, they should.
If you're fighting about a politician, like you guys don't agree with a politician and stuff, like
I think we all know who you're talking about, Joe.
I'm not talking about that person anymore. I feel like there's a lot.
He's like the most divisive.
Right. Oh, well, I think it was like that.
Then
then the vaccine came in, right? Like there was like all this stuff.
There's all this stuff.
There is, and especially with like everything that's happened. I would just say remember that. Take stock on what's important and what's important to the people that are in your, like, you can't fix the world, but you can fix your world. And that's what always made my thing was like your world gets affected by stuff, but nothing more than the world of the people that surround you. So try to keep that protected as best you can.
I just, I'm not shy to admit this. As a man, I fell in love with Joe as a man when he said, you can't fix the world, but you can fix your world. It's like, it's fucking great.
Thank you.
Yeah, it really is. I know it's probably something that's been handed down from,
I feel like you're surprised that I give good every episode.
No, but it's a really great mindset to have, especially when, you've got gray clouds. And it's just like, there was an incident I had recently where a friend of mine was just driving me nuts and I was venting to my other friend. And my friend goes, you should know this by now. That's the noise he makes. And it's like when you go past your neighbor's yard and you hear the dog barking, do you think you're going to change the dog? That's the noise he makes. So accept it or don't. And it's like there's all these little things we've all heard over the course of the years, but what sticks, what stays with you, what's burned in the hard drive. And you can't fix the world, but you can fix your world. I mean, that's another very nice thing that this is another great reason why I like doing this podcast.
Well, there you go. We hope it helps the people that write in.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, this was a good one.
This was a great one.
Great one. See?
Yeah.
We started out talking about death and, dying and all that, and we didn't really get out of it. So
Secret mothers.
We're secret
Well,
mothers.
that's what we are.
These two cool mommies love you, so show us some love.
Please rate us, review us, follow us on all social media, and subscribe to our YouTube.